Welcome to Parodoxical 2024. I am Kunta, the leader of the Woke Melange, and we are located here at the MKM Cultural Arts Center in North Hollywood, California, on land formerly owned by Tongva and Gabrielino people. Please, we ask that you mute your cell phones as we prepare a time capsule of events of 2022 and 2023.
Your old-time tenants through the court or through state senate. Do not try to be a menace to a country that is free.
Do not quote from Paul and Silas in an effort to revile us. We will not be shrieking violence in a country that is free. It was practiced by some others and some fathers and some brothers, but it may be wrong for others, so don't push it on me.
Give us that freedom from religion and to make our life decisions. Don't become an imposition on our right to live free.
If you love everybody and you claim to be godly, then controlling us is hardly a righteous way to be.
Give us that freedom from religion. You have no right of rescission. I don't want your permission to do what's right for me.
And if scripture is your creed and misogyny is your need, it's time for you to heed that our rights are guaranteed.
When religion leads to slavery and other things unsavory, speak up with all your bravery and make sure we stay free. Do not let the far right cheat us with the way they view our fetus. It's the way they try to beat us into mass passivity.
Give us that freedom from religion and to make our life's decisions. Don't become an imposition on our right to live free. Our right to be free.
Charles Darwin was a great scientist and sage. He dared to question the long-entrenched practice of groups of people relying on faith, mythology, the promise of eternal life in heaven, and fear of damnation to hell to influence their choices. Modern America has a rich variety of skeptics, atheists, and believers in a supreme being. Among the believers, a large majority respect the choice of others to believe otherwise.
Unfortunately, as shown in our first parody, a paradox lies at our feet. How do we effectively deal with powerful people who use their religious beliefs and practices as a weapon against others?
Her body was lost to the notion that women no longer are free. She now must direct her devotion to a modern-day Simon Legree. Bring back a recently lost liberty. Let's not go back to legal misogyny.
Proclivities brought them together, though they weren't a he and a she. Now the argues are arguing whether to prosecute LGBT. Bring back the America that we must save. Let's not go back and criminalize sodomy.
For centuries many have battled, our good people won many fights, and now we must keep evil factions from rolling back our civil rights. Bring back respect for diversity. Let's not go back
superiority of man over woman and justified public murder. Picture if the majority of Americans were okay with this type of religious dogma remaining in practice now and in the future. Oh, I come from Alabama with a baby on my knee. I didn't want no baby, but it wasn't up to me. My state now owns my privacy, and I still can't reckon why. But the law in Alabama says give birth, then sit and cry. Alabama, you don't give rights to me. It's 5 years in the slammer or a baby on my knee. I had a dream the other night when everything was still, that my son will blame me for his life and he will steal and kill. After living life in misery, they'll catch him by and by, and the good folk in our blessed state will sentence him to die. Alabama, you don't give rights to me. It's 5 years in the slammer or a baby on my knee. I had a dream the other night that I would leave the South and find a state where freedom lives and women can be proud. And when I will not find it, I will go and die. And me and my own people will not have a place to survive. Alabama, you don't give rights to me. It's 5 years in the slammer or a baby on my knee.
A glaring biblical passage encouraging man to dominate woman can be found in 1 Timothy 2:11 through 2:14. And I quote, "Let the woman learn silence in all subjection, but I suffer not to let her teach to usurp authority over the man. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression." End quote.
Sadly, adherence to the fundamentalist notion that ingrained prejudice against women is holy can lead to a domestic nightmare, as seen in our next parody.
Yes, I own you. You are not one of the good old boys, so I own you. Women are subject to our ploys. I will tell you what to do. I will tell you what to say. And when I'm instructing you, I'll show you how to pray. The law says I own you. You no longer have any choice. Thanks to Neil, Brett, and Amy, I am in charge of your voice. I rule, and I love to be cruel. You're mine, and this power is fine. Behave, because now you're my slave. Submit, or you're gonna get hit. It's no matter that you're young, or that yesterday you used to be free. Today the court wisely restored my superiority, and now you'll do what I tell you to do, and now you'll say what I want you to say. You'll share all my hate and rage for anyone who's black or gay. Because I own you, you're not entitled to any choice. Because I own you, I am in charge of your voice. You're my chattel. I own you as if you were a chair. Don't do battle. If you get pregnant, I will not care. I rule, and I love to be cruel. You're mine, and this power is fine. Behave, because now you're my slave. Submit, or you're gonna get hit. I own you. I own you. I own you.
After so many years of progress in granting civil rights and freedoms to all Americans, would the majority of people just sit back and quietly accept their rights being taken away as a new direction? Absolutely not, even in historically conservative Kansas. Kansas has spoken like the first dawning, women not broken like a frail bird. Praise for the voting tallied this morning. America's knowing what had to be. Speak our rights to call as hearts do not harden. Thanks to the true call of freedom at last. Praise be the sweetness of our garden, sprung in completeness where reason did last. Mine is the sunlight, the Christian Sharia, born of the inside, the voters of faith. By not embracing the God of Scalia, we're not disgracing the dawn of this day. Kansas has spoken like the first dawning, women not broken like a frail bird, Praise for the voting tallied this morning. America's knowing what had to be heard.
During these paradoxical times, women, minorities, members of the LGBTQIA+ communities, mixed-race couples, immigrants, and many people who support freedom and civil rights for all Americans need to act. We must convince unfriendly leaders to change their ways or elect new leaders. Through our music and narrative, we encourage all good people to vote for candidates who share our goals. Hey Judas, you blew it back. Took a sad turn to make them lesser, forgetting that you once had a heart. Why must you start to be their oppressor?
Hey, Judas, stop this charade. You are paid to think clear and better. Be human and give them back their choice.
kindness isn't a sin, then we'll begin to make it better, 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 better.
Near the end of the George W. Bush presidency, Barack Obama got the Democratic Party nomination and vowed to help the economy for all Americans.
I'd like to build a great campaign and furnish it with mud, with rotten trees and killer bees and my opponent's blood. I'd like to see the barbs and lies go hand in hand in hand, with ugly shouts and grievous doubts and fear throughout the land. It's the mud I sling.
It's the mud I sling.
In the world of today. It's the moving tool that helps me get my way.
The cure is say, be positive, but that is for the birds.
My goals go hard each time that I twist my opponent's words. So I will put down everything that my opponent is. Too soft, that hard, too green, too smart. His hair has too much frizz. It's the mud I sling.
It's the mud I sling.
In the world of today. It's the moving tool that helps me get my way.
In 2016, Donald Trump was able to convince the Republican Party that he could create a coalition of Christian fundamentalists, rural whites, and people who disliked minorities and immigrants, and convince them all on the notion that America had lost its greatness.
The bullying was loud during the primaries and got even louder during the race. Trump prevailed in the Electoral College and spent the rest of his presidency trying to push his personal prejudice into law. After he ran for re-election in 2020, he was defeated. And still he claims that he lost the election. It was stolen from him. So what do we do with someone like this? How do they live with themselves? Perhaps they sing themselves to sleep with a song like this.
I'm dreaming of a white country, just like the one I used to know, with the other races accept their places and let Caucasians run the show. I'm screaming for a white country where we can move it further right. May the others wallow in blight, and may all good neighborhoods be white. I'm dreaming of a white country, just like the one I used to know, with the non-straights hated, not tolerated, with safe-sex marriages no-go. I'm screaming for a where women never get to choose. May the ways of Muslims and Jews not be heard above our Christian views.
After losing his re-election bid in 2020, a gang of Donald Trump supporters tried to seize the Capitol to kill Vice President Pence to stop him from certifying the election of President Joe Biden. At present, there is a committee investigating Donald Trump's role in supporting and organizing the coup attempt on January 6, 2021.
They're rioting in Washington. They're acting insane. From Idaho to Florida, they've come to raise Cain. The alt-right is festering with unhappy thugs, believing everybody else should be squashed like bugs. They claim we loved Hugo Chavez and old Fidel,
And they think we all should go to hell.
but we can't be thankful for boys who are proud, for they were egged on by a big toxic cloud. And we can be certain that one lovely day their king will give the orders to blow us all away. They're rioting in Washington. They're laughing in Iran. What COVID didn't do to us, maybe drive by an uncertain man.
On August 12, 2022, the FBI entered Donald Trump's residence in Mar-a-Lago and seized boxes of secret files that had not been returned to the National Archives as required by law.
Once I had some secret files. I chose to bring them home to me. All too soon these secret files became a liability. So I told the DOJ the way that schemers often do, just how out of line they are, and why my Teflon will hold true. Yes, I'll shout it from the highest hills. Any fault here must be Joe's or Jill's. At least my toadies know the score, and my secret files can't hurt me anymore. Yes, I'll shout it from the bars and mills, even if there are some righteous kills, and just by thinking that it's real, my files are now declassified, no big deal.
So, here we are in a country founded and evolved on lofty principles, yet a very vocal minority of Americans would like to live in a theocracy, autocracy, or a form of dictatorship where certain groups of people have power over others. Let's let these so-called MAGA supporters know that we belong in an America of freedom, justice, liberty, and democracy.
Can we move forward, reverse the damage that's been done to the issue of a woman's right to choose, and not allow 4 or 5 justices of the Supreme Court to revoke others' rights? Yes, we can, and yes, we should. Work together today to vote for leaders who will fight for what we believe in and who will work within the law to accomplish it.
I pledge each selfless course, each helping step along the byway. I must restore my rights, your ways, not my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when civil rights got popular and grew. But through it all, you had your doubts, and under Trump, you tossed it out. You heard his call and bought it all. Now his way's your way. I've loved what you decried, so now I must reverse this losing. With ethics on my side, it's time to end this heartless bruising. I'll work within the law, and may I say, not in a sly way, and vote you out the door. Your way's not my way. What is a land? What has it got? If not a voice, then it has not the visions of the folks who feel, and of the words of those who kneel. My record states I fought your hate. Your way's not my way.
Good's been alive forever, and I want it to last long. I need us all to pull together to create this harmonious song. We'll right the wrongs that made the whole world see how much we value our democracy. We'll right the wrongs that made too many cry. We'll right the wrongs, we'll right the wrongs. Virtue lies deep within us, and it prompts us to be bold. Now when I look at the kind and the wise, I see young folks who learn from the old. We'll right the wrongs that made the whole world see how much we treasure our liberty. We'll right the wrongs that made too many cry. We'll right the wrongs, we'll right the wrongs. Oh, freedom fills our heart, so now's the time to start. To take away the rights that they don't approve of. Oh, freedom makes a dance, so give it another chance. It's for me, it's for you, it's for me, it's for me. This is our liberty.
The time is May of 2023.
Racism reared its ugly head in the form of a leaked tape of 3 Los Angeles City Council members and a union leader for the purpose of redistricting to increase Latino representation. Disparaging remarks were made by all about Jews, Armenian Americans, African Americans, and Mexican Americans with ancestry in the state of Oaxaca. The union leader and 2 of the city council members resigned, whereas the remaining council member will most likely face a recall election.
Los Angeles is home to many people, and it's known for its diversity. But, it's also been made clear by news reports and letters to the editor of Los Angeles Times that type of behavior would not be tolerated by a majority of the Angelenos who love and respect their chosen place to live.
Nor should it be tolerated anywhere else in America.
Somewhere in our rainbow, all belong to our beautiful city that sings a united song.
Somewhere in our rainbow we'll find you. In our city of angels, we'll let your dreams come true.
Someday we'll wash away the scars and leave the words of hatred far behind us. Where tribal slurs will melt away and harmony will always stay. That's where you'll find us. Somewhere in our rainbow flies the dove. Let's restore our rainbow with acts of peace and love. If people love diversity make up our rainbow, why not let it be?
In 2022, Ron DeSantis campaigned on an anti-choice, anti-gay, anti-objective view of history, and anti-immigrant platform, and won re-election as governor of the state of Florida. His victory speech was filled with statements decrying people who are, quote-unquote, woke, a euphemism for awareness of bigotry in the present and the past. Here's what Mr. DeSantis said. We reject woke ideology. We fight the woke in the legislature. We fight the woke in the schools. We fight the woke in the corporations. We will never ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
So, what does wokeness or awareness of past and present inequities cause? In theory, awareness should always be a good thing and a possibility to take potentially good action. In practice, it has the potential opportunity for a right-wing candidate to appeal to bigots, equating wokeness with hatred of America, causing straight white people to feel ashamed, plants the seeds for a negative advertising blitz against an educated opponent.
In today's constantly changing political society, there's a strong possibility that Ron DeSantis could be the new Republican presidential nominee in the future. Anybody who doesn't agree with the narrow thinking of Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis and other minions have seen so much suffering already. We must vote to protect all and liberty and justice for all.
You're never to say gay in my state. fast and press our government to stop your ways at last. I'll never welcome you in my heaven. And speaking for my peers, I'll make it clear. Perhaps you'll learn straight love you spurn by praying every day. Our views may never meet again, so then you better not say gay. You're never to say woke in my state. That word just makes me choke and stings my ear. For we in the Sunshine State adore our past, and we regret that our Jim Crow laws did not last. My messaging is straight from heaven, and I will pass it on through every school. Perhaps my show of strength will grow from where it is today, and in 2 years I'll rule the woke throughout the USA.
In 2022, there were 35 senatorial elections, 36 gubernatorial elections, and 435 elections for members of U.S. Congress. Based on results in recent years, many pundits predicted that the party holding the presidency would be pummeled in the midterm elections. Of course, the Republicans are nominating candidates who promote the idea that the 2020 election was stolen from Donald Trump. And then these candidates are advocates for limiting the rights of women, minorities, and LGBT couples, etc.
Fortunately for the majority of Americans, the slate of MAGA candidates lost the senatorial races in the swing states, punctuated by Mehmet Oz in Pennsylvania and Herschel Walker in Georgia. Going into the 2022 senatorial elections, there were 48 Democrats, 2 independents who caucused with the Democrats, and 50 Republicans. Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote 26 times. As the senatorial election results came in, Republicans soon abandoned all hope of a big red wave.
The Republican Party did make some gains in the House of Representatives. As of the start of 2023, there are 222 Republicans, 212 Democrats, and 1 vacancy due to a death. It may be noted that George Santos, a newly elected Republican to New York Congressional District 3, I know, recently admitted to misrepresenting his education, work history, and his ancestry. On May 10th, the shiftiness hit the fan when he was taken into custody on a 13-count indictment.
Red wave in the Senate, it wasn't to be. When Donald Trump's loved ones had toxicity, they failed in the swing states. The Senate stayed blue. Red waves never happened, thanks to voters like you. Right-wingers bring sorrow, they love to hurt us for sure. Our freedom's tomorrow, they'll be a sailing
about librarians in high schools and public libraries who felt threatened by angry parents and townspeople for not banning books. Some of those books had topics about race or LGBTQIA topics. One high school librarian was quoted as saying, "These people wanting to ban books have a whole political machinery behind them and are just using books as proxies to attack people."
In rational families, parents sit down with their kids to discuss what kind of library books are age appropriate. In some places, rational parents are being attacked by MAGA groups like Moms for Liberty or Mama Bears Rising. In Mecklenburg, North Carolina, a video posted by Moms for Liberty tells parents to beware of terms like social justice, diversity, and inclusion, inherently good things that are being used to disguise a biased political agenda.
How dare people who want to ban books from the library infringe on the rights of other people to decide what books to choose to read?
And worse yet, how worse could it get for kids of middle school or high school if their parents were to adopt the ways of right-wing extremists and ban books out of xenophobia?
You think it's harmless prose? What this good Christian knows? It'll get you in its clutch. You better not look or touch.
Poison reading, poison reading. Anytime when I'm thinking poison reading comes a singing around. Poison reading, poison reading. It'll put you in great danger if you ever let the stranger around.
The news will make you jumpy unless it raises trumpy, and savory might make you wheeze and choke. An atheist will fool ya, you'll say no hallelujah. Yes, poison reading, Lord, might make you woke.
You're gonna need an ocean of praying and devotion. Your brain may turn and sound if this toxic stuff is ever found.
Poison reading, poison reading. Christmas won't be merry if there's a library around.
The senators are commies, hate MAGA dads and mommies, and everything that Biden says is fibs. The Dems are out to hurt ya, pervert ya, and convert ya. Poison reading lore produces libs.
You're gonna need a barrel of conservative apparel. You'll be tossed from sacred ground, and your future here with us will be drowned.
Poison reading, poison reading. Anytime when you're thinking poison reading comes a singing around. Llama, llama, llama. Don't you read Obama? Ludu, ludu, ludu. Don't you eat your food? Lada, lada, lada. Don't turn on NPR. Lada, lada, dee. Grow up to think like me.
Today in March of 2024, most people in America feel divided. Yet we, the members of the Woke Melange, believe that we can lead people in a direction towards unity. What do you think, Harvey?
For many years, Republicans have used smear campaigns against their Democratic opponents to trick voters into thinking that Democrats are not patriotic Americans. For example, in a Fox News interview during the 2022 Nevada senatorial race, Adam Luxalt accused his Democratic opponent of supporting crime, rioting, not standing up for police, educating school students with falsehoods, and being a radical leftist.
When tomorrow comes, we'll cast our votes to keep our civil rights.
We'll protect the Constitution and not suffer sleepless nights. We'll avoid repeated scarring of the land we love today. from the Constitution haters who would toss it all away.
We believe that in America, all people should be free to live a life of peace and love with a written guarantee. And we'll always stand up for 50 stars that let us thrive today. For the U stands for United in our USA.
From the state of Minnesota to New York and Tennessee, we must rid ourselves of the haters that love nooses on a tree.
From the followers of Alex Jones to the followers of Ye, there's a risk to our American heart, and it's time we clearly say,
In America, all people should be free to live a life of peace and love for a written guarantee. And we'll always stand up for 50 stars that let us thrive today. But to keep the Constitution, 'cause the U stands for United in our USA.
On December 9th, 2022, America cheered the prisoner exchange with Russia that brought WNBA star Brittany Griner home. That is, most but not all of America cheered. Tucker Carlson could not abide taking back a liberal black lesbian in exchange for a Russian arms dealer. The allowable, slightly diluted acid coming from Carlson's mouth seemed strong enough to disintegrate anything near it. Most likely, the acid in his brain was far more concentrated. Why do certain people expose themselves to the rantings of people like Carlson? What does make America great again mean to those who listen intently to and vote for bigots?
Perhaps it's a fairy tale notion that the open practice of bigotry can recreate the America of 1950. In that year, the total population was 151 million Americans, and people of color consisted of 15 million, 343,000 Native Americans, and 321,000 Asian and Pacific Islanders. LGBTQI people were still in the closet, schools were segregated, racially mixed couples were rare in most states and illegal in others. Norman Rockwell was at the height of his career painting mostly white all-American families. Bigotry is not a time machine back to the America of 1950. There is no upside for the perpetrator or for the victim. It's a lose-lose to waste time listening to people like Tucker Carlson, or a waste of money to support any candidate that he likes. It's an insult to decent Americans.
Breaking news of April 24th. Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson has agreed to part ways.
Nothing could be finer than to send that Brittany Griner in the morning. Nothing could be greater than to tell the world I hate her every morning. In my Fox News glory, while my tonsils roar, hear the gruesome story, I long to shout once more. We traded for this girlie with the hair that's far too curly, it's forlorning. We should never clutter up America, now shut her up at dawning. If I had Joe Biden's job, here's what I'd say. We don't want her back because she's commie and gay. Nothing could be finer than if Putin takes back Reiner in the morning. In my Tucker glory, stomping on the floor. Every Griner story makes me want to puke once more. We traded for this girlie with the hair that's far too curly, it's forlorning. We should never clutter up America, now shut her up at dawning. If if I had Aladdin's lamp just once in my life, I'd hurt every lesbian along with their wife. Nothing could be finer than to send back Brittany Griner in the morning.
Bye-bye, Tucker Carlson.
So now I can't malign her no more, dissing Brittany Griner in the morning.
Threats to democracy in America exist today, beginning with the revocation of Roe v. Wade by the Supreme Court in 2022. There exists a clear and present danger to any other right that displeases appointed officials and elected politicians.
Currently, in 2023 and for many years, most American leaders have been a member of either the Democratic or Republican Party. How do our two major political parties stand regarding threats to democracy, civil rights, equality, and America's future as a constitutional republic?
At the start of 2023, the Democratic National Committee, or DNC, posted this wording on its website. They said, Democrats believe in ensuring fairness in American society to all Americans. We believe that healthcare is a right, our diversity is our strength, and democracy is worth defending. Democrats across the country are fighting hard to build a better America, and they're fighting for this by supporting lower working class families and investing in the middle class. Democrats are dedicated to ensuring a safer and more just future for all Americans.
At the start of 2023, the Republican National Committee, or RNC, used this wording on their website. Republicans believe in liberty, economic prosperity, preserving American values and traditions, and restoring the American dream for every citizen of this great nation. As a party, we support policies that seek to achieve those dreams. We are working to preserve America's greatness for our children and grandchildren. As the left attempts to destroy our nation and way of life, the Republican Party is standing in the breach to protect those.
Well, reading between the lines, the Democratic Party is supposed to advocate for things like equality and respect for all of its people, while the Republicans are supposed to advocate for something a little more traditional like inequality and discrimination. Well, in any other case, the attack language of the left trying to destroy America and standing in the breach is the antithesis in moving a direction forward.
At the end of 2022, there were over 49 million verified registered Democrats, over 39 million verified registered Republicans, and an estimate of 39 million to 49 million independents and other political parties.
Part of understanding the paradox of America's minority of people who favor attacking the rights of the majority lies in looking at the statements made by the coalition of factions within today's Republican Party. Ronald Reagan's trickle-down economics exacerbated the rich-get-richer economic policies. Televangelist Pat Robertson declared his candidacy for president in 1988, firmly implanting the faction of fundamental Christians in the GOP. And Donald Trump's affinity for bigots, negativity towards the press, disregard for the Constitution, and constant lying caused another fundamental faction.
And that's where QAnon comes in. According to Wikipedia, QAnon is an American conspiracy theory that originated in 2017. It centers on fabricated claims made by an individual or individuals known as Q. Its core theory, now get this, is that a cabal of satanic, cannibalistic, child sexual abusers conspired against Donald Trump. QAnon believers think that Democrats, Hollywood actors, high-ranking government officials, business tycoons, and medical experts are all a part of this cabal. Yeah, that's not the case. I can say that. But here we are today, and they are still trying to perpetuate the age-old myth of blood libel.
Yes, it is frightening because it inspires real people to commit real crimes. On December 14th, 2022, a man attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband in their home with a hammer, hoping to commit a political assassination. Allowing one's mind to be poisoned by purveyors of raw hatred only helps the people who want to turn America into a mosh pit. It had to be cute. Anon, it was you. I searched all around and finally found somebody who convinced me it's true that every Jew is greedy and bad. Now I am glad that I found you. Some others I've seen might try to act mean, or burn a cross, or cause a loss to a black man or two. But nobody else smiles at the thrill of showing folks it's okay to kill the mud people who are hated by you. It had to be Q. I've learned much from Q. Anon, it was you who gave me the dire need for pure ire against the conspiring of the blue congressmen who want to destroy white people's joy with the lies that they spew. They're after your cash. They just want to trash the American way and let immigrants stay, and not just a few. For nobody else gave me the will to join the assault on Capitol Hill. Yes, I'll get parole, and when I get parole, I'll be faithful to Q.
Immigration and the path to U.S. citizenship has been a mainstay in America since its foundation. The Statue of Liberty symbolizes the lamp that we lift next to a golden door and accept all peoples from different countries to be a part of it.
Starting in the 1950s, immigration from Mexico, other Spanish-speaking countries, and Asia caught the eyes of Caucasian leadership who feared that the percentage of non-white Americans was getting uncomfortably high. Believers in diversity support immigration, while believers in limiting racial minority groups advocate for stopping from it. These attempts to find a reconciliation between Democrats and Republicans on matters of immigration policy has led to the passing of the football from Eisenhower to Kennedy to Johnson to Nixon to Ford to Carter to Reagan to Bush to Clinton to the other Bush to Obama, resulting in many fumbles.
Finally, in 2012, Obama issued an executive order called DACA, which is an acronym that stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. It allowed children to get deferrals, 2-year periods of deferrals from deportation and eligibility for work permits. It was expanded in 2014, and then Donald Trump tried unsuccessfully to rescind it in 2017. And then Joe Biden reinstated it in 2021. What will happen in 2023? Some leaders will laud the contributions that DACA recipients made and push for a real immigration policy. Other leaders will scream that their America is being destroyed by dangerous foreigners, in language not becoming of this narrative.
Meanwhile, the DACA recipients, also known as Dreamers, will remain in limbo, hoping that a majority of American leadership will see fit to lift the lamp once again. Working from the morning sun, in the office till my workday is done, controlling all the funds that come in, always knowing where the money has been. I'm working thanks to DACA today. I'm a corporate CPA. I'm a dreamer in the USA. Chiapas gave birth to me near Mission Bay. Now I have much more to live for, as long as Uncle Sam lets me stay. So I'm working hard because of DACA, with good earnings coming my way. I'm a dreamer in the USA, using my time. Although MAGA wants to change it, smart voters let it remain. Good people can respect what I do and help our dreamers remain the same. Yes, I'll work to keep the company sound, thanks to the respect that I found. 2,000 miles I won't roam, because Mexico is not my home. Now I'm working thanks to DACA today. I know Americans do, I pray. I'm a dreamer in the USA, using my time. Save DACA. Save DACA. Save DACA.
The United States and other countries have signed the 1951 Refugee Convention, granting people the access to seek asylum. In recent years, many people have been accepted to the U.S., over 75,000 under President Obama, less than 25,000 under President Trump, and even less during the pandemic when Title 42 was implemented for health reasons. President Joe Biden is trying to lift Title 42, but he's facing opposition from opposing political leaders, including some members of the Supreme Court who are fighting him.
So what is a refugee? A refugee is a human being who is looking to live a life that is untenable through no fault of his or her own. And an asylum seeker undergoes a vetting process just so that way they can make sure that he or she is eligible and does not pose any security risks. Unfortunately, the xenophobes who are looking to make America a lot less diverse can only see people who don't look and act like themselves.
Languages they're speaking, to a few who may be listening.
1939 movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington is ranked as the 5th most inspirational of all time by the American Film Institute. It was written by Sidney Buchman and Miles Connolly, directed by Frank Capra, and it starred James Stewart as a U.S. senator being pressured to put the interests of a corrupt business above the interests of an American people.
Yeah. One of his most iconic speeches to his fellow senators was this: just get up off the ground. That's all I ask of you. Just get up there like that Lady Liberty on top of the Capitol Dome. That lady that stands for liberty. And look at the country through her eyes. And I'm sure you won't just see scenery, but you'll see the whole parade of what man's carved out for himself after centuries of fighting. Fighting for something more than just jungle law. Fighting for the right to stand on your own 2 feet, free and decent, the way that we were created, no matter your race, color, or creed.
Let's stay together, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're going just like I am.
Let's grow together right away, then we'll get a lot more done.
Be a people helping team. Why don't we find our common dream together? Oh, 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 oh. Let's work together for everyone. People have the right to share.
Respect
Every freedom, every day, everywhere and everywhere.
They don't look or think like you. You must remember that they're human too. Together.
Our future would be swell. Ring the Liberty Bell.
We, the team of you and me, could not be any greater. Say hey, negotiator.
Let's work together, yeah, yeah, yeah. 2 is twice as nice as 1. Let's work together right away. Then we'll get a lot more done.
Now the people on this list can do much more than just subsist.
Let's work together!
Oh, yes.
People of every race.
People of every religious belief or non-belief.
Or the physically handicapped.
Or the mentally handicapped.
People who are ill in any way.
People of different political preferences.
People whose loved ones were killed or injured by violent criminals.
Or rogue police officers, and on and on.
Okay, we get the picture.
Look or think like you. You must remember that they're human too. Together.
Are we members of the woke melange idealists asking for pie in the sky?
I say no. Our issues are good. We've seen them work. And we strive to make life good for all Americans. Let's take a look at some of the voter polling issues in early 2003. Actual and factual education, clean energy, strong gun control, restoring a woman's right to choose. Let's see, what else? Fair and adequate policing, and protecting all from discrimination.
The Constitution and democracy? No argument here, except maybe from Donald Trump.
Quality and factual education? Some say it's designed to make white kids feel guilty.
Well, there's no guilt in knowing that some naive ancestors followed their ancestors in manifesting destiny and other justifications for taking power over others. We in the woke melange believe that we can move people in a more forward direction of unity.
Healthcare? Never mind. That's that popular plan that the MAGA supporters wanted to destroy because it was started by a Democrat with the wrong skin tone.
Social Security, another no-brainer.
Clean energy? What'll happen to the miners and oil company workers?
They'll need to find new employment. Stagecoach drivers, telephone operators, just to name a few. There's no stopping the advance of technology.
Adequate and fair policing? Let's face it, everybody wants it. Even the ad executives who create attack ads against Democratic candidates accusing them of supporting crime.
The right to vote for candidates supported, and cheaters want to undermine it.
Gun control? Legislation efforts are dying almost as quickly as the victims.
Well, for gun control, it'll eventually lead to either people compromising or getting voted out of office. It's sad that mass shootings will undoubtedly claim the lives of more innocent people before we get significant gun control.
Is there any hope of restoring reproductive freedom through legislation?
Well, we keep trying to remind anti-choice leaders that pushing their personal beliefs onto people is un-American, and it violates their rights to life, pursuit of happiness, and liberty.
So, with all these issues, do you anticipate anything close to impossible?
Well, if we work hard, as most Americans do, and with reason, then I anticipate some struggles, yes, but I also anticipate realistic expectations of success. Here's to our future.
To reach our achievable dream, to leave the untenable low, to stop all the bearers of sorrow, and to run where the rest of us go.
Right the avoidable wrongs, and to love humankind near and far.
To try to convince all the leery to reach for the reachable star.
This is our quest to soar to that star, to always move forward, no matter how far.
With our sights on our eyes, any less would have lost. We will march to the Liberty Bell and DC for our cause.
And I know if we hold fast and true to this most vital quest, that our land will be peaceful and calm when it's led by the best. And the world will be looking at this, that one land stormed and covered with scars, still rose due to people with courage to reach the most reachable, the free speechable, and the teachable star.